Welcome back, Shop Rats. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop. It's another Talk About It Tuesday, and today we are going to talk about experts. I mentioned in a recent video that I had to have a talking to with myself, and I said self, which is a rather crazy thing to say to yourself. But I said, self, cut yourself some slack. You haven't been a professional mechanic in 25 years. Why do you think you should still have the level of skill and knowledge that you had 25 years ago? I mean, I don't even have the level of skill and knowledge about cars from 25 years ago that I had 25 years ago. I'm getting old. I don't remember stuff anymore. That's okay. Now, you know that we've had issues with this vehicle, which is my 2012 Ram Hemi truck. And we've had issues with Becky's 2018 Mini Cooper Countryman. And all of them are, to some degree, related to technology. And I've spent tons and tons and tons of time trying to understand how those systems work, how that wheel speed sensor system works, and what it affects, and how the VVT and the MDS system works on the Ram Hemi as well, and been frustrated that I just can't seem to get my mind wrapped around things. But as I was driving down the road one day, as often happens, or sitting on the toilet, sometimes some of the best apostrophes come there. But anyway, TMI, right? It occurred to me that, Mike, you used to work in this stuff all day long, 6 days a week. 50 hours a week or more as a professional mechanic 25 years ago. Why should you expect that you're going to be able to have the same knowledge and wisdom and diagnostic capabilities on vehicles that you're not up to speed on? If I was working in the Dodge dealerships for the last 10 years, I would have all of that knowledge at my fingertips on this truck and know instantly and easily what the issues were. If I worked in a Mini Cooper dealership, I would know instantly what the issues are, what to look for, and etc. And it just occurred to me that when you're doing DIY, it's definitely an uphill curve when you're dealing with the more modern vehicles and all of the technology that's involved. Now, both of the issues, as far as I'm concerned, aren't so much the tech. It is, but it isn't. It's the fact that it is tech. It's a mechanical problem that's driving technology for driver convenience. But the reality is it's still mechanical problems in both vehicles that have to be sorted out. But I shake my hand some more. Sometimes my Italian heritage just can't go away. They say, what's the quickest way to gag an Italian? Make him fold his hands. So when I work on the classic cars and the muscle cars and the antique cars, that comes easy to me because I understand the systems. I have the knowledge. I have decades of experience, and it doesn't take me long to sort things out most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. I still run into things that kick my butt, like why the Oakland wouldn't start when we first tried firing it up. But in hindsight, I know what we were dealing with now, but in the heat of the moment, you just don't know. We ran into a no-start issue on the 69 Charger that was a bit of a head-scratcher, but at the end of the day, the technology is really simple on that electronic ignition system, and it's not a matter of if you can sort it out, it's just a matter of when. Now, no one understand, I am not a parts thrower. I don't just throw parts at stuff. I want to test things and determine what the real issues are and fix the problem and not necessarily just fix a symptom. And that goes back to my training both as a mechanic as well as my many years of experience working as an engineer. Don't just chase symptoms, get to root causes, diagnose, disseminate, document, be logical in your approach, that kind of stuff. So that's part of the frustration when it comes to being a DIY these days, working on these more modern cars, which I don't want to do, but I don't have a lot of choice. I just think that cutting myself some slack and recognizing that I used to be an expert. I used to know a lot about stuff, and I still do as far as basic mechanics, but the truth is I'm not going to know a lot about these new cars until I get up to speed on them, and that's not going to come from solving a problem on one vehicle, but that would come from working in a dealership and working on that group of vehicles day after day after day, and being surrounded by other mechanics and other technicians who work on this stuff day after day after day. In the dealership environment, we always had the hive mind of 3 or 4 or 2 or 6 other technicians that we could bounce ideas off of. Walk over to the shop foreman or walk over to the mechanic with the most experience and say, hey, I got a blah, blah, blah over there and it's doing this. What do you know? Well, first things I would look at would be blah, 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 right? And so that narrows it down, and that helps you. Oh, yeah, we saw that 3 times a couple of years ago on blah, blah, blah. And at the break room table, we would sit around every day, twice a day, drinking coffee and eating McDonald's sandwiches or whatever it was that we did at break, and just kick the tires around about all kinds of things with life, but also about the stupid crap we were working on and the kind of problems we were having. And, hey, what do you guys know about this? What do you know about that? Gaining knowledge through YouTube and forums can be good, but it can also lead you down some real deep, dark rabbit holes of complete garbage. So, you have to have some basic understanding of possibilities. That's why it took me so long to sort out the number 5 issue on this truck, which I still haven't fixed, but I intend to hopefully soon, or at least tear into it and find out what's going on. But life has been really crazy. So anyway, all that to say, you can be an expert when you work in something 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, year after year after year, and you work with a group of people who are also experts in that particular area, because you learn a lot off of each other through the hive mind. So cut yourself some slack. If you have some good basic mechanical skills, well, even if you don't, get yourself around other people that have the skills and knowledge that you want to learn. Find some good resources online and develop personal relationships. But I would encourage you, don't take advantage of those personal relationships. Recognize that you're tapping into somebody's lifetime accumulated knowledge base, and they would appreciate both acknowledgement and sometimes compensation for what they bring. I appreciate all the recommendations you guys have given me over the years of websites to look at and places to go. I've been developing a good resource pool, sometimes from what you have shared, other times from other places I've discovered, and that's helping me sort through some of the issues that I have with my more modern vehicles. And I appreciate always your kind, thoughtful comments and constructive criticism. All I ask is, don't be an ashtray. The world has too many ashtrays already. I appreciate you guys and gals, and we will catch you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget, roar!